Xbox gaming for life. Oh my word, we've got some rain here today, Lethal. This is going to make for a very interesting race.
Absolutely, that mixes things right up. Those guys that were fast in qualifying in the dry, who knows, maybe they won't be so fast in the wet.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on here. It's all going to be about the driver's skill again. Cars are equal, so no advantages there, but this rain is going to set the boys up from the men. Oh, we're on the grid, Lethal, straight away. 28 laps here. Oh!
Oh, was that a jump start there, or a
lap, is it? Was that a jump start or a formation lap?
I believe that's a formation lap.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I was getting a bit excited there, a little bit too much. Although there is distance between them if you look at the times. Have we actually started this race?
Perhaps we have.
I think we might have, and Merckx is away.
There was no challenge.
There's definitely going to be a drive-through penalty for Sainz. Oh my word, the Mercedes is power sliding around those corners, and it's just gone spinning off.
Oh my.
What is going on here? This is excellent stuff. Professor Rage, we're still waiting for him. No image there. Oh, here he comes slowly round these corners. He's up in 10th. He's negotiating these like he's on ice. Back to Merckx, who's got a 1.1 second lead here from Sainz.
Brilliant
who's being chased. But Sainz has surely got a drive-through penalty, Lethal. What do you think?
Well, I'd imagine so. I thought he jumped the start.
Unless
there,
that was the best start in the world.
Exactly, it could have been. You never know.
As I say, who knows? This might be the formation lap. We just don't know at this point. We thought it was straight into the race. Oh, the Mercedes have gone wide out the back there. That's the Mercedes of Elites. He seems to be having trouble keeping it on the track at the moment. And he's just gone down the inside of the Red Bull of Gary. They all seem to be trying to warm up their tyres at this point, so...
It makes me think this is a formation lap, we've got overexcited.
Well, maybe we have. Who knows? Oh, there goes... Elites is just on ice at the moment. He's not keeping this Mercedes on track.
Struggling, is he? Oh, I missed that, I'm not going to lie.
Struggling a lot. But he's challenging. He's going down the inside of the Haas. Yeah, no one's changed positions, so I believe is this a formation lap? Yes, it is. Excuse me for my excitement. I really thought that was the start of the race.
So did I. Anyway.
Why did it have times between them on there? Unless that's
I don't know.
No, that's definitely not those certain times.
That's why
that's very strange.
That is why this is pre-season.
Yeah, we're getting to know. We're getting to know Lethal. Well, as they line up on the grid, now we can start to get excited, everybody who's watching, because we are about to go to the race. Oh, and it's lights out. And they're off. Not very fast because it's raining, but they're away. No one seems to make a false start, and we've got... There is some movement. Professor Rage is ploughing up through the field.
Done brilliantly up the inside. Oh, and it's contact.
Oh, the Force India of Oh, the Force India has just come straight through and smashed Elites off the track. There's got to be a penalty there. You've got to look at the stewards. Look at that.
Or
got to be, yeah, got to be some sort of damage here.
Some side-by-side racing back there.
Oh, this is close with Professor Rage at the moment, and the Red Bull of Gary is just... Oh no, Devilish Dragon's just shot up 2 places there. I'm on view with Professor Rage. He's seems to be falling back. We've got the 2 Ferraris, I think, behind each other as we go to the front of the grid, where the heart of Illicit Merc...
Oh, bit of action there.
Explicit Merc, sorry. Oh, where?
Mercedes making a dive on the Red Bull, I believe that was. Elites, maybe.
Oh, another car coming back onto the track there and forcing another wide. I mean, I can understand these drivers are probably trying to be as clean as they possibly can, but in this weather, who knows? You've got to be thinking about it a bit more logically, going 2 or 3 wide into a straight, though, or a corner in these conditions, Lethal. What do you think?
Yeah, that's right. It makes it so much harder battling side by side with someone in this wet. You got to go offline, and it's even wetter out there. It's tough.
Oh yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's so many different race lines you can take through this. As Max Verstappen's shown in the past, that it's not necessarily the standard race line that's the best.
Oh yeah, that's true, but he's an exceptional driver.
Most certainly. And we've got some close driving here. To be fair, the pack's not split by more than 2 or 3 seconds. This is close racing.
Certainly is.
After this
Explicit Merc's under a bit of pressure here. And down the back straight. Actually, Sainz is under pressure from Gary. Gary going to make a move into turn 1.
Oh,
possibly.
Gary.
The Red Bull.
He's pulled out. He's pulled out. What's he going to do?
Goes up the inside.
He's going to try and take that inside line.
Unfortunately, couldn't manage it there.
Couldn't make the manoeuvre count there. As Sainz, great defensive driving from Sainz. He seems to have held him off there. Oh!
Oh, Gary's gone wide a bit there.
Trying to power slide past Gary.
Oh, he's done brilliantly, I think, around the outside.
That looked great from where I was, Lethal. I don't know about your view on that, but Elite's really shone there.
Fantastic driving there. Got anything? Oh, we've got Devilish Dragon here looking at lining up the Ferrari, I believe, down in 7th.
And that's the Ferrari of Professor Rage.
Down the straight here, what can he do?
Rage is pulled to the inside. He's going to try and cut off the line, I think. Oh, I don't know how these drivers can see anything, Lethal.
I know, the spray is just incredible.
Got to be really hard racing this close, and not only the spray, but the disrupted air that's coming from the rear of that Ferrari of Professor Rage.
Yes, got to be hampering him, maybe ruining his tyres a bit more than it would.
I think Dragon's doing really well. Elite's here though, closing in on Sainz. I don't know if you want to see this, but Elite is really powering down here. He's like less than half a second away from Sainz.
Oh, Sainz has gone wide.
And Sainz has gone wide.
Oh,
they're neck and neck. Elites. Will he hold on to it in the corner?
Oh, big contact there, I think.
Power slide there. Bit of contact. Oh, maybe we'll the stewards will investigate that. We don't know. But now we've got 3 in a row. We've got Gary, Sainz, and Elites all chasing down Explicit. Explicit here though, managing a great race. Would you say, Lethal, from start to finish at the moment?
Absolutely, he's been brilliant so far.
We've had an overtake.
Oh.
Devilish Dragon and Top Freeze have gone past Professor Rage.
Oh, there's a car off here.
There's more movement up top as well.
Elites has come off.
Elite. Oh, see, this is the thing.
Sure
Elite is pushing at the moment. Well, from watching him at the moment, he's been really pushing quite a lot around this track, and I think he's trying to race it as if it was dry.
Maybe trying too hard, yeah.
He's in the Mercedes, and obviously, as we know, Mercedes 4-time world champions. It's a great car to be driving in, so I don't think he wants to disappoint. He's pushing, maybe pushing too hard.
Well, Gary here, maybe we're going to try and make a move on Sainz, down into the heavy braking zone. Have a look.
Sainz.
Nope, nothing doing.
No, Gary's just keeping tabs at the moment. He knows he knows after that start, I think, that Sainz is going to have to take a drive-through penalty.
Yes, that's
Although
true.
surely he would have had to do it in the first few laps, wouldn't he, if he'd have actually got one? So is he
Yes,
going to have a
I'd
time
imagine
penalty
so.
added to the end of his race? I remember when I raced around USA Lethal, I don't know if you won that race in our season, but it was quite a challenge to get around the USA in the dry.
I was going to say, yeah, that was dry too, so I can't imagine how difficult this is for these guys out here in the wet.
No, we see a race line sort of forming now, though. Yeah,
who knows what the weather's going to do? May dry up. I haven't seen the weather report myself. There's a yellow flag waving in sector 3, and that's Elites coming in the pits.
And that's Elites.
Maybe
Elites slowing down, coming into the pits.
I'm not sure.
That would explain why he's having some trouble keeping the car on those corners.
Yeah, they're changing the front wing.
Nose damage, yep. That's it. He's in early. He's got another 24 laps to go on this set of tyres. I don't know whether he's going to be able to make it count.
Sure, it's going to be tough. His tyres will be pretty worn by the end if he can. But we'll see how he does. Back down into
if you can manage it in this rain, they're still going to... The one thing he's going to want, I suppose, is he's going to want it to dry up in the next 10 or 15 laps.
That's true, yes.
Because then if everybody's come in for a pit stop already, they're going to need to then go in for another one, which will kind of level the playing field for him.
Right, yeah.
Would you agree? We've seen his pace. Oh, a 3-second penalty. That's not good. We've just seen Elites down in there getting a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. Yeah.
It's not going to help.
I'm on top 3 freeze, though, who's in the Haas on Professor Rage. I don't know if you're following that at the moment, Lethal.
I am indeed, yes. That's a close battle. This is a tough section,
close battle indeed.
Hard to overtake round here.
Yeah, of course. I couldn't agree more with you.
Getting very close.
The Haas just has to keep the pressure on, and then it's up to the Ferrari. Depends what nerve he's got to hold his place. We've seen Professor Rage already go wide once or twice and lose a few places in this race.
That's true, and it's easy to make a mistake when it's wet like this.
Oh, for sure. A fastest lap there set by Merckx. He is really... Oh, we've just missed it. Gary's taken the lead. I mean, not lead. Sorry, Gary has got past Sainz. We missed that, I'm afraid, but Gary just biding his time there. Seems to have paid off.
Really? I believe that was down the straight, or maybe into the final corner. But unfortunately, our cameras missed it.
Yeah, it's hard with all these races and these changing of positions. They're all quite close. We can see the ones that have pitted, though, from ERC Shadow down. They seem to have pitted.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, ECR Shadow. My fault there. So they're the pitters, and then there seems to be a good 7 to 8 seconds between Explicit and Top Freeze, who is currently in last place and has not pitted. Of the people who have not pitted.
I see.
My apologies.
Gary's made a slight gap between himself and Sainz now, around a second. Maybe he can push on and catch up to Explicit Merckx and challenge for the lead of this race. Who knows? Been a fantastic drive from Professor Rage so far, though. He may have gone wide a few times, but he's gained 5 places in these first 5 laps.
That's great stuff. I mean, he wasn't able to set a time out there. He was really pushing that Ferrari we saw in qualifying. And he paid the price by having to start last on the grid.
Right, who knows where it'd be if he started a few places higher.
Exactly. Exactly, Lethal. Oh, just looking at my menu now, it appears actually that only Elites has actually been into the pits. The other drivers seem like they've had some problems and some spins across the way. Sainz with a 3-second penalty there. Looks like he's been corner cutting.
Closest battle on track so at the moment is Sainz and Gary. They've been battling for the whole of these first 6 laps, and that's the fastest lap from Elites down in 8th place, trying to catch the pack.
Elites has got the time. There's no doubting it. No doubting it at all. It's just he's obviously had it. If you remember back to the first lap, obviously we've got no replays here, but I'm pretty sure that the Force India came through.
Yes.
The Force India of North Wharf came through and absolutely hit someone. It may have been Elites that collision was with, which has caused him to push, sadly.
And then a couple of laps later, I believe he got knocked off again, or spun off in the S's, and maybe lost some wing there too.
Yeah, I mean, these things are fragile, these wings.
Right, it doesn't take much, and you've lost your wing.
No, not at all. And
got going closest battle here, I believe, still Sainz and Gary. Roughly around 9/10.
Yep,
not really changing much there.
Sainz and Gary, really, they seem to be the two that are really following each other. It's going to be interesting to see if Sainz has a penalty and how that's going to affect him. So that's going to really split those two up if that's the case. Professor Rage just seen with a 3-second penalty for corner cutting by the looks of it.
I see, yes. Prove costly.
It could ultimately prove costly indeed. There's a lot of penalties out here today. I think the stewards are going a little too penalty crazy if I'm being honest.
Oh.
But then the drivers, this is GP2, this is not the GP1. Oh!
Yellow flag there. I'm not sure what that was for.
No, I know exactly what's just happened there. Explicit Mercs has gone off the track and he's come back on in 3rd place.
Oh.
He's now behind Sainz and Gary.
Wow, so Gary takes the lead of the race.
A race that was just... Yeah,
wow.
He was just cruising. I think he's maybe taking it too easy. And Devilish Dragon is all over the rear of Explicit as well now. This could be another place lost.
Can he get him on the braking? Oh, it's close. Side by side.
Oh, they look neck and neck coming out of this corner.
We've got the better exit.
Oh, Merck's got the better exit. The thing is, Merckx was pulling out at the start of the race. Oh my God, there's less than a tenth in it. Less than half a tenth.
Side by side.
Dragon's got the inside line.
He has. Can he get the
exit? Merckx has gone wide. It's going to go down to the next corner.
Oh, Merckx has dived
got the inside line.
Oh.
Oh.
Push Dragon wide. And takes the place back.
Oh my word, this is just amazing.
Oh, Merckx
this is amazing stuff.
Oh, this
gone wide, but he's kept the place. Down the inside.
Oh, brilliant
He's got so much traction. Look at that.
Brilliant driving from Dragon there. Absolutely fantastic. Sure, Merckx isn't going to give up though.
Oh, looking closely there, Merckx's right front wing has got some severe damage. He's not able to keep up with these drivers now. This is why he's falling back.
I see, he's going to be struggling through those fast corners. Can he do anything down into turn 1? Doesn't look like it.
I would say no, not with his wing the way it is. He's going to have to manage his race until his pit stop, I think, Lethal, at this point. Oh, what a shame. What a shame.
We've got a couple of guys in the pits here. Top Freeze has pitted, as well as ECR Shadow. Top Freeze just exiting the pits.
I wonder if they're going to look... I wonder if these cars could look to apply maybe a little bit more downforce to their vehicles, just to give them that extra bit of edge around this track. Maybe sacrifice a bit of time. And who's on the back of...
Oh! Top Freeze has just spun out the pits. Top Freeze has come out of the pits, gone to do turn 1, and he's just lost it. He's on the... hang on, he's on the Ultra Softs.
Hold on, well, it doesn't look like it's raining out there. Maybe he's made the call and he's made it early.
He's gambled here, but is it going to pay off? He's spun already. Oh, and he's on the grass.
Oh, he's gone too early by the looks of it. He's not going to manage this race.
I noticed. Oh, ECR Shadow struggling too.
Is ECR on a...
I'm not sure. I'm just trying to see which tyres he's on.
Oh, he's gone to the softs. He's gone to the softs, Shadow has.
Okay, so they're all thinking about changing. I see. Oh, and I've noticed
he's just looking for the one stop.
I think Dragon's just got past Merckx again there, or... Oh, no, it's Professor Rage and Merckx here battling. Oh!
Yeah, Professor Rage.
Great move.
Oh, excellent stuff from Professor Rage. We've been watching this. He's been keeping close tabs. Oh, excuse me, how unprofessional.
Merckx has got to be struggling with that front wing damage that you spotted earlier.
Yeah, I think that's what's costing him a lot of time and a lot of place here. But I think he just wants to wait it out until it's time to switch to the tyre, to the right tyre, so that he can make the most of that pit stop. It looks like it is drying out on the track there. There's less spray coming from the rear of the drivers at the moment.
Yeah, but the track still does look a little bit damp. I'm not sure it's still quite time for slicks yet.
What would you hazard a guess, Lethal? 2, 3 laps? Maybe 5, 10?
Yes, I'd say maybe 3 laps.
3 laps. I'm sure we'll get notification when the DRS is enabled, and that's usually the green light to say, get those tyres on, gents.
Right. Yeah, let's see how the guys... Oh, ECR Shadow's lost it on those slick, soft tyres.
Oh, he's on the grass.
Oh,
he's on the grass
there.
just before the tight right-hander at corner 17.
Oh, and top threes too. Lost it coming out of the final corner. Also on the slicks. Definitely not time for those slicks yet, Rose.
Oh no, they're just proving these two could well have thrown their race away. North Wharf here just following through the back. I think he's been in the pits and he got damage obviously after his first corner, but he's still a good time away from Shadow and Freeze. Shadow, oh.
They're really struggling.
I'm just watching him on the pit straight here.
Oh,
look at that! Oh, he's almost lost his tyre there. He's got to have some wing damage.
That was close. Oh, he's gone wide again.
Wide.
Oh no! Disaster
Not a good
here.
call. They're losing so much time. They're going to have to hope that the others are going to need to pit twice. But there's only been 3 in the pits so far. The others seem to be hanging on until the track dries out.
Yeah, I think that's the right call there. Seems to be gaps between all the cars here. Not any real battles happening at the moment.
Now we're into that phase of the race where you've got some in the pits, some who haven't been in the pits, decisions being made. The cars are spread out, really, I'd say, Lethal.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a watch of Gary here and see how he's doing out in front. I believe he's just lapped North Wharf. I believe.
Yes, I'll agree on that. He's just gone past him. Gary, coming from, I think, 4th on the grid he started. What an excellent race he's having so far. Would you agree?
Absolutely, he's been brilliant. He's gained, as you said, 3 positions. And, he's just been brilliant. Going to ride on board and see how he does for a lap or 2.
Yeah, race leader and thoroughly deserved at this point. Obviously, Explicit was having a great race until his mistake, and no one wishes a mistake on anyone, but you make a mistake, you lose a place. That's the nature of this game.
I agree. It looks like Gary's catching someone else here. Maybe ECR Shadow, who's struggling on those soft tyres, lets him through.
Oh, he's lapped him now. That's not gonna do your pit strategy any good.
No, I don't think Shadow's going to be too happy either.
No. I must say, the track does look like it's drying in certain places, though. Still a bit of spray from the rear of the cars, but definitely a drier track. We've got 18 laps to go here.
North Wharf has moved past ECR Shadow.
Maybe
North
because
Wharf
he's
no
on
longer in
the
last
ultra
place.
softs instead of the softs. Do you know, I think Gary's doing excellent here as well. Not just because he's leading this race, but he's now pulled a 4-second advantage over on Sainz. They were neck and neck a little bit earlier.
I agree, yeah. Yeah, superb racing. Hasn't made a mistake. It's just kept it steady.
Merckx falling a bit further. Oh, he's in the pits there, and I think he's been overtaken by Elites now, which means Elites is making up some amazing time, or Explicit was losing quite a lot of time.
Oh. Has he gone for the super softs there, is that? Yes, explicit.
Is that
super
explicit?
softs. Oh, and he's sliding. Almost lost it onto the
Oh.
grass there. That was close. Oh, he's very unstable.
Seems like there's a little... Oh. It seems unstable. It seems like there's a little bit of grip out there for these kinds of tyres, but not enough for the drivers yet. I think they've all shot their load a little early here, Lethal.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's getting close, but I'm still not sure it's right yet. I don't think that the guys at the front will be taking any chances. I'm sure they'll stay out on their intermediates until they know for sure that it's ready for the slicks. I don't think they'll be taking any sort of gamble.
No, I'm sure not. And it's a shame we haven't got a link into the team radios today to hear what the drivers are chit-chatting about. Because it'd be interesting to see what's going on inside some of those lead cars. Yeah,
I agree. I'd quite like to know who made some of those calls for those guys early on, made top threes and Shadow, because they went very early onto the slicks. And we've got Devilish Dragon entering the pits from 3rd place.
Well, I've made some notes, and we're going to speak to some of the drivers after the race today as well, Lethal, and where we get to ask them some questions. So stay tuned for anybody who's waiting after that. And these are some of the things that I want to ask them. Why was that decision? Was it your team that pulled you in? Was it you? Who knows?
All right. Going to be great interviews at the end. Good question.
Elites is past Dragon.
Yeah, he's coming out the pits.
Elites has got past Dragon in the pits. So Elites is doing amazing after his pit stop, I would say.
Yeah,
he's putting himself in prime position. Well, let's look at the time difference here. I think there's a at the interval we've got a 7-second gap, I think, between Rage and Elites. A pit stop is longer than 7 seconds.
Very true. We got Explicit Mercs coming in the pits, who obviously was leading the race at one point for quite a while. He's on the he was on the softs, I believe. Hang on, my computer seems to be messing up a bit here. The tyres keep changing. Not actually sure what tyres he's on now or what he was on before.
Well, Elites is on the intermediates. I can tell that. No worries, no worries. It's technology, Lethal. We can't expect it to work all the time.
See, Explicit comes out, and I believe he is on the super soft.
Yeah, Explicit is still going round. No, sorry, not Explicit. Elites is still going around now and setting really great laps on these intermediate tyres.
Oh,
Explicit Mercs with 2 pit stops there, Lethal. Has he gone back onto the intermediates?
Yeah. No, I believe he's still on the
he's
super
on the
softs.
Super soft, sorry.
I'm not sure why he pitted. I believe he was on the super soft, pitted, and changed back to the super softs. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe he had some damage or something. I'm not sure.
Maybe more wing damage, which probably what caused him to tumble down the field again.
Could be.
Gary's in the pits, and so is Science. Let's see how long. Has Science been howled for a long time? Well,
Gary's already
on his
coming
way
out.
Yep. I think the gap's still the same, though. Doesn't seem like there's been any penalty added to Science here. Maybe it'll be post-race.
Could be. I think they've both come out on the slicks.
Essentially, that's if he had a false start. There's always a chance that...
Well, that's true.
As we haven't seen a replay, that Science made probably one of the best starts in the history of the USA GP. But my instincts tell me differently, Lethal.
There's ECR Shadow. Now that the tyres are working better on the track now, ECR Shadow, I think, has just overtaken North Wharf once again. North Wharf back down into 10th.
Back down into 10th. Still no pit for North Wharf as well, so it's not going to be a great race for him today.
Still must be on those inters. We got Elites, Signs, and Professor Rage here, all down the back straight.
This is going to be close. Here's some racing for us to watch now, as we got Elites at the rear, and Signs.
Going to make a move here,
and Professor Rage.
He's thinking about it.
Professor Rage still to pit.
No.
Oh, Professor Rage has gone wide there and just let them carry on. He knows that that's not his battle. He still needs to pit.
Yes, he is still on the inters. You're right there. I didn't realise that. Oh, Elite's drifting around that corner. He too's on the inters.
If anything. Is it getting a little too dry for the inters out there? Are they losing their traction, and are they losing too much time? That's the question. As we've got Science out here, he's on the he's still on the inters,
Professor Rage in the pits.
whereas Gary's come out on the soft. Science has probably compromised his race here, Lethal, thinking of this.
I would imagine so, being on those inters still, yes.
Yeah, especially
That's
when
a
everyone
rage,
seems to be coping just about okay with the softer tyres now, with the slicks.
Absolutely, I'd say he needs to get in and get those inters off and get some slicks on, because he can. North Wharf is finally pitting to get those inters off, putting on the soft tyres, I believe.
North Wharf in the pits. That's going to put him so far behind the rear of the field. Let's fingers crossed now that the track's drying up a bit, though. We're going to get to see what he's all about. Some drivers, like Nico Rosberg, just can't handle the rain.
Drivers
We're still with Gary here, and the race seems to be spreading out a bit now.
Yeah, I was about to say a similar thing.
We're halfway through, and I suppose we're just going to have to look at some excellent driving.
Yes, I don't suppose there'll be any more pit stops, but you never know, I suppose. I imagine their tyres will take them to the end now.
Science has surely got to. He's made the decision to come in.
Explicit Mercs is out.
We missed that. Oh, he's in the wall.
Lost his front
He is
right.
in the wall. I can't see at what turn. I cannot see at what turn. Oh, he's gone through the S's, and as he's gone round the first S, he's just completely lost the rear end by the looks of it, and he's gone straight into the barriers. What a disappointing day for Illicit Mercs. He started the grid on pole after an amazing lap yesterday. Led for quite a few laps as well, Lethal.
Did he's been unfortunate today, like you say, led at the start, lost it a bit, and now out completely. But
we've got Elites in the pits here. He's down in fourth. He's losing positions as we go. That's his second pit stop, but he's now onto a better tyre for him. Professor Rage up into fourth there. This is going to bring the field a little bit closer, we hope, as we've got. Oh, I think that's the lapped car of ERC Shadow, actually.
Yes,
apologies. That's the lap car of Shadow behind Elites. I was going to say there was a Ferrari sandwich on that Mercedes then.
There's some action up in second and third here between Signs and Devilish Dragon. Dragon just behind Signs. Oh, I believe Signs gone wide.
Oh, Signs running wide there, and are they side by side?
Oh,
he's led him through. He's led him through. Remember this. Signs hasn't got the right tyres on. He can't really compete with these guys on the slick tyres.
Still running those inters, yeah. He's got to get them off.
Still running those inters, yeah. The only people who've pitted twice are Explicit and Elites, and Explicit now sadly out of the race. Although North Wharf has just passed Illicits on the track, he's unlapped himself, and now he's up into ninth. A good 32 seconds behind Shadow, who's a good 48 seconds behind top three Freeze. We then got Azamir, who's probably close to a lap, a minute behind the pack, and then that's where it starts to get interesting. We've got Elites, who's 2 seconds behind Rage, who's 10 seconds behind Science, who's 2 seconds behind Dragon, who's 12 seconds behind Gary. Science coming in now. He's getting rid of those intermediates, it looks. Maybe he feels it's time to really drop the hammer.
About time, I believe he should have got rid of those inters a few laps ago, personally, but who knows?
That's a great shout, Lethal. I do
to catch them. Oh, Gary with a 3-second time penalty.
Well, it's not the first penalty we've seen today. There's quite a few penalties all over the track, so it's actually going to be interesting at the race that if the drivers can keep quite close, where they're going to finish.
Penalties may come into it, yes.
Science dropping down to fifth there behind the lap, and that's Shadow unlapping himself, I believe. Elites closing in on Professor Rage here. This is probably the closest bit of action, except for Top Freeze and Asmir.
Oh, Elites swerving around a bit on my screen there, and he's
And he's passed.
Professor Rage?
He's passed. Oh, Rage has got the undercut going round turn 1. What a great manoeuvre. Rage went wide into the first corner and undercut Elite's back into the second.
Brilliant racing there. Elite's caught him so fast.
This is what I was saying. Elite seems like a really good driver. He's in that Mercedes for a specific reason, not just because he chose it.
Yeah, he's just been unlucky today at the start of the race with those that contact, especially in turn 1 lap on the first lap.
I could have seen the Mercedes winning this today. Oh, fastest lap from Gary there on the Super Softs with a 1:47.7.
He's had a brilliant race today, is Gary. Good in the wet, good in the dry. Nothing this guy can't do.
Oh, tell me about it. Consistency is key as well. Oh, that's another time penalty for Rage there. He must have cut that corner. There's no need to. You're in front. He's got to get past you. It's just silly penalties here that's going to cost these drivers good points and good positions. Wouldn't you agree, Lethal? As Elite goes fastest.
Yeah. Putting some pressure on Rage. Not sure what the time was, but almost coming together between the two of them there.
3-second time penalty for Devilish Dragon there, who's in second.
A brilliant battle between these two. All Rage has gone wide.
Oh, they're side by side.
This is very, very close.
Elite backs off to take the corner. Oh, look at the power. Look at the traction of these coming out of the corners.
I believe ECR Shadow is out of the race. He's in the wall. Down in ninth. Yes, he's out.
Oh, completely out there.
His wings spread out across the track and his nose is in the wall.
Not a good day. But back to Professor Rage and Elites. This is nail-biting stuff. These guys are right at each other's rear.
Going to be close into the heavy braking zone. Who's going to brake later? Oh, Elite's with the inside line.
Elite seems to be round, and he's held the line as well. He's held the line. Although he got a 3-second time penalty there. He's cutting corners as well. Gary just stretching out the lead here at the front. I think he knows how. I think his team have been telling him how fast Elites has been catching the rest of the field, and he's just trying to make sure that if he gets into second, which is a big if because he's 10 seconds away from Dragon, that he wants to make sure that he's far enough away that Elites can't win this race.
However, I believe Dragon just got the fastest lap there, followed by Elites.
Only until Elites. Well, this is a drying track as well, Lethal. So these fastest laps are going to fall as this track dries out as we go through. I'm pretty sure they were hitting the 130.
Sorry to interrupt. Professor Rage lost the back end there at turn 1. I thought he was going to put it in the wall, but he managed to hold it.
Oh, excellent driving. You know, that's great stuff from Professor Rage there.
Drop back on Elites a little bit though now.
Another 3-second time penalty there for ECR Science. Even he must be pushing really hard and not taking it as cleanly as he can. There may be a bit of surface level water that needs to be cleared up on the top of this track.
Going to ride on board with Gary for a couple of laps in the dry, I think, with our race leader.
Oh yeah.
Seen him in the wet. Let's see how he does in the dry, as while there's no real battles happening at the moment.
Oh, look at this! It's just majestic. These lines look brilliant from Gary.
Let's see how he does this lap as he crosses the line here. Looks like car in front of him will be getting lapped shortly.
I don't think he's looking. Oh, he has set a fastest lap there, 1:43.5. I'm sure the times that were in practice, the pole was a 1:35. So we've still got some time to go.
And the times are just tumbling here, aren't they? Another fastest lap there from Dragon, I believe. Yeah,
but it's 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, though, because a fastest lap is then followed by a penalty. So, you know, these guys are out here, and they're racing hard, but they're just not keeping it as clean as they would like when it comes to these corners.
I feel as if you can keep your race without getting any penalties or too many penalties, you can really make some places with the penalties added on at the end.
I think that's what North Wharf is looking to do here. I haven't really seen Dwarf hit the penalties today. He may be a little far off.
I think, yeah, I think he's too far back, but you never know, I suppose.
Excuse me. You never know what's going to happen. Anybody could have a crash up front. They could all fall back. He's only 1 lap behind.
A safety car,
We've seen a lot of penalties.
Could mix it up. That's all it takes.
Safety car, yeah. Although most of the people who've gone off conveniently have gone off right near where the stewards' gates are, so they've been able to remove the cars without any safety car or even virtual safety car needed.
Gary's catching the back marker of North Wharf, I believe that is there.
Oh, yep, North Wharf just letting him through there. He doesn't want a penalty for blue flags. As North Wharf, I believe, is now 2 laps behind. Or maybe just 1 lap. Look, I don't know. It says 1 lap on my timesheets, but I don't know if he's been lapped by Gary before.
Not sure, but Gary's now catching Asmir in the Williams, I believe he's in.
As Elite goes there with a 140.8 on the Super Softs.
Oh, Dragon's in the pits.
Professor Rage. Oh, Professor Rage taking Dragon while he's in the pits. This will be a second pit stop for Dragon. Science goes past.
Just behind Science, about 2 seconds back.
Eight laps to go here at the USA, and it's been a very eventful race, I must say, for a pre-season test.
Certainly has. It's had a bit of everything, what with the rain as well as the dry running and overtakes, crashes.
It's been very, very entertaining. Just on board with Professor Rage here. He's 6 seconds behind Elites. Science is probably the closest to him, so Rage, Science and Dragon. I think that's where the action is going to be for the last 7 laps here, Lethal. Hello, Lethal. Are you there?
Hello, sorry, yes, microphone appeared to have stopped working for a second there.
Well, I knew you were there next to me, obviously. Just meant for the viewers out there. Technical issues indeed. As I was saying, Lethal, Rage, Science and Dragon are all within, are all close within each other. Probably Science and Dragon at the most. That's where the race is going to be for these last few laps. As we're on board with Dragon here.
Appears I'm having some real microphone issues here. Rose, you may have to take a bit more lead on this at the moment.
Don't worry about it, don't worry about it. Just pop in and out as and when you can. It's pre-season. I think we need to get some better mics here in the studio.
I believe you're right, yes. What we got going
anyway,
on
this
here?
is really close here. We've got Devilish
here.
Dragon. That's what you want to see. And Science, this is going to be the one for the rest of the race, I believe. Unless there are any major hiccups out there. Gary's pretty much got this one in the bag. The Elites is closing, but he's only got 7 laps. This Dragon goes around the outside. He's got the inside line.
Can he make it stick? Science
dive up in the inside. Oh,
it's brilliant racing between these two.
Oh, there's no love lost here. Obviously, Dragon's on the faster ultra soft tyres here. Science is on the softs.
I believe Dragon only pitted a couple laps ago as well, so they're going to be very, very fresh.
Now he's going to make his Storm on Rage. He's a good 4 seconds off Professor Rage, a.k.a. Butters.
Oh, hang on. Gary's just been in the pits. He's just come out the pits. He's now down into second, and Elites is out in front.
What's happened here? Did Gary just... Gary's gone and put on some bloody ultra softs, though, hasn't he, there?
He has, and he's only...
Now Gary has just made this into a race, I think. He could have probably cruised those 7 laps, unless he felt he was really struggling under the tyres. or unless he felt Elites was really catching him. It didn't look like it on the timesheets here.
Could have been either way. Maybe Elites will have to pit as well. Maybe all of them will have to pit and they can't finish the race on the tyres, but who knows? Unfortunately,
This is exciting stuff, and we've also got
information.
Science just pushing. Yeah, we've got Science. I don't think he's going to catch Dragon here, actually, with the tyre difference. Now Dragon's away. Let's focus up on what Gary's doing. He's less than a second away, although Elites is really putting the hammer down here. He's trying to get him out of... He's out of DRS range, Gary is. Gary's out of DRS range, Lethal.
He is only just, by about a tenth or two, but I feel like with Gary, those fresh Ultra Softs, it's only going to be a matter of time until he's at least challenging for the lead again here.
But once he gets on the rear of the Mercedes, Lethal, how's he going to get past? That's the question.
That's true. Maybe that extra grip will help him through, but I think he's had a bit of a hiccup here, and he's dropped to about 2 seconds behind. Not quite sure what happened to him there. Did he go wide?
Oh, well, I definitely know he's just picked up a 3-second time penalty, so that's not going to help him either. Depends how many of those he's got. Gary could have thrown this away. I think he's going to start chasing here.
Elites with another fastest lap, a 1:37.7.
Driver of the day so far, Elites. Would you agree? With 5
I'd
laps
have
to
to
go?
agree. I believe yes. He's done very well after that instant into turn 1. Bring it back.
Yeah, after North Wharf just careered right into the side of him, and his engine's been lagging since, and he's had to go in and pit earlier than everybody else. Then he made 2 pit stops, which seems to be the trend now. Just hope his tyres are going to hold out, because these super softs, well, they'll go longer. He's had them on for a while now.
Yeah, I believe most people have pitted twice. The only one who hasn't is Professor Rage. Oh, and North Wharf, who's down obviously in 8th place. But, Professor Rage has done very well. He's gained 7 places, I believe. He's had a
But Devilish
very good
Dragon
drive.
is closing.
That's
Devilish
true,
Dragon
he
is closing. We'll go to that when it gets a bit closer. Oh, what's just happened there? Rage! Rage has slipped down. Has he gone into the pits? No! He slipped. We were talking about him, and he's gone off.
Ah, curse of the commentator.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame. The curse of the commentator indeed. Science and Dragon straight through now. As Gary's getting a little closer to Elites here, but not by much. That's got to be the tyre difference. 5 laps to go here. What's going to happen? This is interesting racing, Lethal.
It is. We've got 2 battles going on now. Gary and Elites for the lead, and Signs trying to catch Dragon for the last place on the podium in 3rd.
The key thing for Gary here will be not to get as many penalties as he's currently receiving. Because if he can keep his penalties down, Elites, we know, has picked up quite a few during the race.
Yes, that's true. That could come into play. Who knows?
If they just have 1 3-second penalty difference at this point, Gary wins the race.
Bringing that time down.
Oh, Professor Rage. Yeah, Professor Rage has really dropped off here. I don't know whether he's just going to try and see that Ferrari home. Oh, he's in the pits, actually. He's getting a new nose. Yeah, he's going to get a new nose and see what he can do. There's still 4 or 5 laps to go here.
Oh, Gary's lost it, I think. Or was that my computer screen messing up there? No, Gary lost it. He's dropped a couple.
Oh, he did lose it a bit, yeah.
Down.
Oh, that's poor. That is from Gary. I think it's the pressure of chasing. When you're out in front, Lethal, I don't know if this is the same for me, it's the same for you. When I'm out in front, unless, of course, you're in the car behind me, I'm fine. You know, I can lead a race all day. But it's when you're trying to chase and trying to make up those positions, you're really pushing yourself, and that's where mistakes come, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. It's I feel sometimes it's quite hard for the guy out in front as well, with the pressure of the guy behind you, faster tyres and catching you. But Elites has handled it brilliantly, and yeah, Gary seems to be the one struggling at the moment.
Well, after the race, hopefully, we're going to find out what made Gary come into the pits. He had a good 18-second lead. I think he thought he could get in and get out, still in first, and he's miscalculated his time there and the speed of Elites. Gary's pulling it back a bit here, Lethal. He's got to within 3 seconds, so he's a bit closer, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
With only 3 or 4 laps remaining, I'm not sure he's going to be able to do that, because Elites is driving just as well out in front.
I think that's been a silly mistake from Gary. If we get to talk to them after the race, we're gonna ask him what was the decision behind that. Had he got any damage? Were his tyres pretty much dead? Did he need to pit?
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that his tyres were very worn, but I'm not sure. I believe Sainz might be catching Dragon here. 1.7 seconds is the gap. It was 2 seconds a lap or two ago.
Was indeed. It looks like Dragon may have had a little bit of a squirmish slip there. This is definitely the closest battle on the field at the moment, Lethal, would you say? Or on track, sorry, not field.
Yes, they're definitely on the track and not on the field, but yeah, it's this is definitely the closest battle we have at the moment.
No, it could be just a procession for these last 4 laps as we'll go around the drivers and see how they're taking some of the corners. Professor Rage here now, 30 seconds behind ECR Science, who's 1 second behind Devilish Dragon, who's 11 seconds behind Gary, who's 3 seconds behind Elites. After that, we've got Top 3 Freeze and Azamir, who are over a lap behind, and North Wharf also over a lap behind. I think North Wharf's actually 2 laps behind, as he's a lap behind 7th place.
Yeah, he's been struggling. I feel like he's been better in the dry. I think it was the wet that slowed him down, but after all, it's
the
only,
wet really probably
pre-season.
threw him off. Yeah, it's pre-season. They're finding out about the cars here as well. You know, this is we're leading up to the first race. There's been some changes over the winter. They're just getting used to their new cars. Two laps to go here in the pre-season in USA, Austin, Texas. I'd like to thank anybody who's been watching us so far. It's been an exciting race.
Hopefully we can get a little bit more excitement maybe towards the end here, but it doesn't look like too much going
Gary's
on track
closing.
at the moment.
He's now less than 3 seconds away, Lethal.
Yeah, but in 2 laps, who knows, I suppose.
It depends on those tyres of Elites. Is Elites going to continue pushing at the rate he is? Or of his tyre, which would mean that his tyres are going to be backing him all the way? Or will these tyres cause him to yield that lead at some point?
Yeah, that's very true. Who have we? They've all done 2 stops now, except North Wharf. There's actually there's a yellow flag in Sector 3. Not sure what that was for.
I think this is pretty much as it's going to be now, unless we get any engine problems or any major slippages. It looks like this is going to be the final order for the race, Lethal. Only Sainz and Gary can really get within touching distance of anybody.
Yeah, so I think all the action happened earlier on in the race. It's been a brilliant race, but it's not over yet. Who knows?
Although actually, just thinking about it, there's going to be one surprise left in the bag here, and that's going to be the penalties.
Yes, that's very true. It could change the order up massively. Who knows? There's been penalties flying around all over the place. It's been hard to keep up.
Yeah, for sure. And there's another one, and that's for Gary. Is that going to be the one that costs him this race?
Could be.
If him and Elites have the same amount of penalties, Elites wins the race. If Elites has one more penalty than Gary, Gary wins the race. This is how close it is. It's going to be done in the data center off track, Lethal.
It is. There's Elites might catch this this back marker here, and maybe that could cause some problems for him. Who knows?
If he can make that gap longer than 3 seconds, then there's a chance that Gary may finish second.
All depends on those penalties now.
Let's see the race director. We'll go to the race director for the last few laps here, or at least I am. And let's look. We've got a 10-second penalty for Elites corner cutting. That's a 10-second penalty.
Big penalty.
Plus a 3. So Elites currently with a 13-second penalty.
As he comes down on the back straight, he's just done the hairpin on his final lap. He's only got half a lap to go, Rose.
There's Gary. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is Gary's race.
We'll see. Elites have probably crossed the line in first.
10 seconds is the difference. There's 10 seconds difference here.
Elites coming around final few corners now. Not many to go. Into the double right-hander. Up to the penultimate corner.
Oh, I think there's going to be 4 seconds difference here, Lethal. Gary's got 3 penalties amassing to 9 seconds, and Elites has got 2 penalties amassing to 13 seconds. What's going to happen? Gary wins the race!
Oh! After Elites crossed the line in first. Is that confirmed? Gary has won the race?
I calculated a 4-second difference there.
Wow.
What a race from Elites, though, to get out in front as far as he did, and to be penalised 10 seconds. What was that for?
I'm not sure.
It said corner cutting. I mean, that's got to be some kind of corner cut to get a 10-second penalty. Let me just double check that in the race director. Let's see the incidents. On the first page there. Oh no. "10 seconds. Corner cutting. He got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. And he hadn't even been given a warning before that.
Oh, that's harsh. That must have been a very severe corner cut or something. I'm not sure.
I have no idea what went on there. It's a shame we couldn't see because, I mean, yeah, that's just very strange to me to be given a penalty for corner cutting in 10 seconds when the average standard is 3. If he hadn't been given that 10-second penalty, Lethal, this race was his.
Yeah, it's although it's only pre-season, that still cost him a lot. That penalty from the stewards.
Yeah, it's cost him a lot of pride. Yeah, that could have been a race win for the Mercedes there, but as it was, Gary in the Red Bull takes the victory.
Yeah, brilliant racing all round, but especially well done to Gary.
Well, let's see if we can get a word with some of the drivers after the race. Let's see what Elites is doing at the moment. See if we can get him in here. There's the podium, though. That's the 2 Red Bull drivers and the Mercedes. A lot of points for Red Bull this season. It would have been a lot of points if it had been a Grand Prix.
They're definitely going to be competitive this season, though. Not just going to be the Mercedes show.
It's going to be definitely not just the Mercedes show, Lethal. And also, off the top of that, we have some very good news. We've got Red Bull there, Renault up in 4th, Ferrari not having a good showing there, up in 5th and 9th, and there's Kevin Magnussen. Oh, well, we hope you've enjoyed it. There'll be a race next Saturday evening at the same time of 7 o'clock. Until then, you can watch the Rudes Dudes Formula 1 World Championship on YouTube, starring myself and lethal_sniper, on Xbox Game Commentaries. Until then, everybody, stay excellent to one another. Thank you for joining us tonight, Lethal. It's been a pleasure.
It's been great. Great racing. Thanks, Rose.
No worries. Hope you've enjoyed these 83 minutes. We're going back to the studio. Till next time. Thank you very much. Well, I hope you enjoyed that race. That was a pre-season at USA, a precursor to what's to come in this racing league, this European Championship Racing. Obviously, some of the drivers out there have got to learn to keep it within the track as penalties cost them heavy. And some drivers have got to just keep it a little cleaner. It's going to be a great season, though. It looks like it's going to be some close racing and some really good ties out there and some good, strong battles. Tune in next Saturday where we'll be, that's Saturday the 18th of November at 7 PM UK time, just to confirm, and following the Twitch stream of Lethal4lSNipER, which is Joshua1072, that's Joshua, Joshua 1072. And he'll be joined by Toast Parabola for the first race of the season in Australia. We really hope you enjoy it. Tune in next week, and the videos will be uploaded to Xbox Game Commentaries and ECR Racing. Till then, have a great week. Bye-bye. If you like these videos, subscribe, give me some likes, turn on your notifications. And if you didn't, thanks for stopping by.